My camera is literally stacked on a bunch of books and Yu-Gi-Oh boxes in an unstable manner just so I can get you this footage. I don't know why, but this used to be one of my favorite games in middle school. Like, I thought this was better than the actual Wii port. I never got to play the PS2 version. As I later found out, this game's actually pretty ass, so let's dive right into it. Can you see? Oh, alright. Now this is going to be kind of tricky for me to film because it's a dual screen game that takes, what I want to say takes advantage of. This game takes advantage of nothing. Let's lower that. So as you can see, I am 19% complete on this game. Here's a multiplayer mode, which I don't think anyone here is going to want to play with me. If someone else wants to, that'd actually be kind of sad, because they would also own this hot steaming pile. Now, I want to go over here just to take a look at this little art gallery. Like, everybody... No, well, not everybody, but a lot of people aren't really fond of this art style. I, myself, I love this art style very much. Where we got our classic Gigan. I mean, look at Mothra. Mothra's adorable. You see this? Do you see this? This is my religion. If you do not respect my religion, I would kindly ask you to go away from me. Never talk to me again. Go fuck yourself. I hate you. Goodbye. Here's Ghidorah. Look at that. It's kind of... I'm wearing a mask right now, and it's hot. I don't know why I'm wearing this. It's a cheap, like, festival-bought Rey Mysterio mask. Anyways, let's dive right into this. So we're gonna do the basic Mothra Godzilla combo. Here we go. Couldn't figure out how to do it. We have story, which sure, let's do. So yeah, here we go. Again, this art style I'm like in love with, but the actual game itself is pretty lackluster. It's not even gonna read that. Yeah, sure. Look at that. You know, Godzilla was one of my favorite all-time movies ever. And it's kind of hard being a Godzilla fan, especially back in the day when it was still seen as like a niche fandom. This was before the whole Legendary movie trilogy really caught on with a bunch of people. So, you say you're a fan of Godzilla, everyone's gonna think you're crazy. Everett stomps Tokyo. Everett is a lot bigger in this game than he should be in any of the movies. Alright. So, the X button is supposed to be your atomic breath, but my X button, as you'll see throughout the video, doesn't really want to cooperate like that. Like, I'm supposed to hold it, but it's been busted to the point where you can't really take full advantage of it. And I'm already dying, so I'm just gonna switch over to the greatest Mothra incarnation we've ever seen in our entire existence. I mean, just look at this adorable little creature handcrafted by God himself. Look at her. She's adorable. Oh God, I'm dying. So we gotta destroy these crystals, which were like the main plot. And I'm dead. I'm dead. I've always struggled on this part as a child. So the plot of all versions of Godzilla Unleashed is that Space Godzilla comes down to Earth and he starts building these crystals that affect pretty much everything that's going on. And so you have to go around destroying these crystals, which I'm doing right now, in order to save the Earth. Unless you're playing as one of Space Godzilla's allies, in which you just do whatever the heck you want. These segments always... Even as a kid, I knew these segments were bad. As a kid, I used to think that there was no such thing as a bad game. Like, I'd owned a lot of movie license games, which is questionably weird. But I used to think that they were all the best games ever. So in this game, Godzilla is presented green, as well as pretty much any Western merchandise that was sold here. Little known trivia is that Godzilla has only appeared green in the movies twice, to the best of my knowledge. Godzilla 2000, and it's hard to focus on the game and film this at the same time. Anyways, Godzilla 2000 and Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, which were the first two films I've ever seen with Godzilla in them. Probably one of my favorite designs for the character. What's your favorite Godzilla design? Let me know. Mine are pretty much the entirety of the Millennium Saga, but specifically the GMK version, which was the best, in my opinion, the very best version of Godzilla we've ever gotten. There's something pretty creepy about those white dead eyes, you know? And that's the game. We can go home, everybody. It's over. That's it. I can take this Rey Mysterio mask off now. I wish that were the case. There's more. I actually met Kaiser Neko from Team 4-Star at Anime Expo a couple weeks back. And I got him to shout out Destoria. I can't... This camera angle, with how I'm holding this, it's very hard to focus on two things at once. Yeah, we talked about a lot about what the next Godzilla movie might be about, because I mean, I don't want to get into spoilers for King of the Monsters. I mean, you should have seen... Everyone here should have seen King of the Monsters by now, so I'm just gonna say right now, the oxygen destroyer that was supposed to kill Ghidorah and Godzilla, we think that's how Destroya might be introduced into this new series. And it was honestly kind of awesome to have these conversations with Scott, because a lot of the people you see, like celebrity-wise, like the people you idolize, you don't expect... Stupid B button! You don't expect them to be like fanboying over the same things you're very much into. Like, everyone keeps forgetting that Vin Diesel's a pretty big D&D fan. I don't know if he still is. He probably should still be a D&D addict. Sorry, that was, I had a pickle sandwich earlier today. Damn good sandwich. Pickles make everything better. Fight me. Again, so my 3DS has been the victim of a lot of Monster Hunter rules. So a lot of the buttons are kind of not good at the moment. But we're almost done with this. Again, as a kid, I knew these were ass segments. Let's move on. Kind of a... Now that I think about it, it's really a very boring game up until you get to the bosses. Like, the bosses in this game are super frustrating. And you'll find out in a second, because I believe we're almost there. Japan is so unprepared for this monster threat that they're actually using World War II era vehicles to fight monsters that they should have been prepared for 50 years ago. It's a victim of an art style. If Japan had to demilitarize this badly in order to get us this, like, the greatest version of... I'm focusing on the game and not the camera. Alright. That is not Titanosaurus's roar, just letting you know. I do believe that Titanosaurus and Mothra have their roars mixed up, which is, it kind of happens a lot in these poorly made licensed games, so, like, you're going to be playing the Sky Monsters the majority of this fight. Hey! Woo! Ow. Yo! This is like... This is gonna be the only way to beat him. Just gotta make the best out of, like, a boring situation, you know? He's just down there punching away at nothing. And we were just up here waiting for... Here we are! That did nothing. Ow. art style is amazing, but I can't say they're the same for the rest of this game. Guys, what's your favorite Godzilla game? Monsters, my way. Are there any good Godzilla games out there? I gotta take this mask off. Filming in here was a bad idea. It's scorching hot. The mask is killing me. I gotta turn this fan on. I don't care if it pollutes the audio. Shirts off. Let's go. Where am I? Oh my god, it feels so much better in here. I don't even care if I'm naked. I don't even care if I'm losing. The heat is not worth this footage. Where am I? Here we are. So we just gotta wait for him to jump. That's not a... We have to wait for a high jump. Then we get him. Here we are! Look at all that health we have left. Look at that. We're almost there. Hang in there, you little fluff ball. That didn't... We got him! Yeah! We did it. I'm gonna turn this off now. And I'm gonna get a Gatorade. Hope y'all have a wonderful day. Goodbye. Look at... This was my recording setup throughout the whole thing. Look how unstable it is. Wow.